Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasani Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gauri Gopinath Shamakundara Kundiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Dasi Devi Ki Jai Samarita Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Gaura Premananda All glories to the assembled devotee All glories to the assembled devotee All glories to the assembled devotee All glory to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gadavane Prachaline, Devashtesha Shunyavadi Paschakshya Desha Taline. So today we are reading from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, Adi Lila, chapter number 11, text number 44. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Nityananda Vriksha
Nityananda Vriksha
Nityananda Vricha Paramananda Upajaya
Nityananda Vricha Paramananda Upajaya
Shri Jiva Pandita Nityananda Gunagaya
Shri Jiva Pandita Nityananda Gunagaya
Nityananda Vricha Paramananda Upajaya
Nityananda Vricha Paramananda Upajaya
Shri Jiva Pandita Nityananda Gunagaya
Shri Jiva Pandita Nityananda Gunagaya
Servant of Nityananda Prabhu Paramananda Upajaya The name Paramananda Upajaya Shri Jiva Pandita The name Shri Jiva Pandita Nityananda Lord Nityananda Prabhu Guna Quality Gaya glorified. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Paramananda Upajaya was Nityananda Prabhu's great servitor. Shri Jiva Pandit glorified the qualities of Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Purport. Shri Paramananda Upajaya was an advanced devotee. His name is mentioned in the Caitanya Bhagavat, where Shri Jiva Pandit is also mentioned as the second son of Ratnagarbha, Acharya, and a childhood friend of Hidayat Bhaha, the father of Nityananda Prabhu. In the Gonadesha Deepika verse 169, it is said that Shri Jiva Pandit was formerly the Gopi name in Virat. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatavadakamana Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Sadutam Vadidana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Namo Vishnu Gadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Veshatamine. So, it is very, very nice and very, very inviting and wonderful to read about these great personalities, the associates of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who they were in Chaitanya Lila, who they were in Krishna Lila. It's very, very enlivening to hear about this. You know, there's something also very enlivening. Did you know that actually you were one of the great associates also of the Lord? Yeah, actually you were also one of the great associates of the Lord. That is our position. We are all formally great associates of the Lord in His transcendental pastimes. Intimate associates of Lord Krishna. And also perhaps Lord Caitanya. Or either one, actually, described in the scriptures. Or both. It can be either one or both. Every living entity has a relationship with the Lord, either in Chaitanya Lila, Krishna Lila, or both. Or it could be in the Narayan, in the Vaikuntha realm as well. But in any case, we all have eternal identities in the spiritual world, and this is just a temporary burp, consciousness burp to end up here, you see. We just kind of our mind kind of went off the track a little bit, and boom, here we are. But all you have to do is get back to your original position. And that process is called sadhana bhakti. By engaging in the regulated principles of devotional service according to the instructions of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Tridanti Goswami. It's a step-by-step process that's enumerated by Srila Rupa Goswami. If you will take up this step-by-step process, then gradually you'll regain your original identity as one of the Lord's intimate associates in the spiritual world. So, don't be so worried about what's going on here, really. Don't let it bother you that much, because it's not really your real identity. You know, being a man or a woman here in the material world right now. All the things that go along with that. The different family relationships, the family problems, the problems with your job, so many things that go on, and so many problems with the government, problems with your health. Don't let it bother you that much, because it's not really you. It's just the covering of the actual self. With this self that you think you are now, which is actually the false ego. Just the covering. It's a masquerade. And the real self will be revealed as you gradually unfold your true nature through the process of sadhana bhakti, gradually morphing into raga bhakti in the perfectional stage. So just faithfully follow this process. Have faith in the process of Krishna consciousness, have faith in scriptures, have faith in Srila Prabhupada, have faith in your spiritual master, have faith in devotee. Put your faith where it belongs. Your faith belongs with Krishna and all those who are representing Krishna purely. That's where you should be putting your faith. And then, with that faith, now you associate with the devotees, associate with the scriptures, associate with the deities, and associate very nicely. And then you will make further progress, you see. You have faith, then you associate, you serve, and then when you're very serious to really commit yourself to this process, that is called bhajana kriya, when you get initiated and you take the vow to give your whole life to following this process without deviation throughout your whole life. That's called bhajana kriya. So when you make that commitment, the initiation vows during the bhajana kriya phase, now you become very solidly fixed in the process. And by that fixity in the process, all the contaminations in the heart, the lust, the anger, the greed, the madness, delusion, and envy that have accumulated over millions of lifetimes of rebelling against the authority of the Lord, that gradually goes away. And when you get, and it's almost gone, that stage is called anartha nivritti. And then when it goes even further, it becomes even more cleansed, that stage is called ruchi. And now there's hardly any trace of material contamination left, and you're just relishing unlimited sweetness and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then following in that last trace of material contamination goes away. Prabhupada explains that's called the asakti stage. When you become absolutely, totally, completely attached to Krishna, you have absolutely no attachments at all except to Krishna. Krishna is your only attachment. That's called the asakti stage. At that stage, you actually realize who you are in the eternal leelas of the Lord. You actually realize who you are. And as you actually enter into the mood of that relationship, that's called the bhava stage. And when you become fully situated in that relationship, that's called the prema stage. So it all begins by having faith. You put your faith in the process, you associate, you get initiated, you strictly follow regulative principles. In this way, the great associate of the Lord that now is covered beneath your false ego, you see, gradually comes out. And the prema stage becomes fully manifest. So don't let this material world get you down. That's the point. You're somebody. You're not really who you think you are in this material world. You're actually one of the Lord's eternal associates. So don't let the material world get you down. It's not worth even worrying about that much. It's just a temporary phase. You're in the hospital right now getting cured. And when you get out, you're going to be back with Krishna and Radharani and the gopis and the cowherd boys and Govardhan and the Jamuna or like that. So when we read about these great associates, it's not just academic. We can actually enter into the association of these great personalities.
No audio.
Huh?
No audio.
Oh, we got disconnected from the. Let's reconnect with so our online people can get back in.
Start meeting.
So this process is very sublime. You must put your full faith in this process. There's a lot of people out there who will tell you that this Krishna consciousness is no good. It's fanaticism, or it's sectarian. A lot of people give you bad opinion about Krishna consciousness. You have to become very callous to such mentalities because they're demonic mentalities. And if you give them any credence, they'll pollute your consciousness. You have to have unflinching faith in Krishna consciousness, unflinching faith in Srila Prabhupada, unflinching faith in those who are purely representing Srila Prabhupada, the senior devotees, any fixed up devotees who are purely representing Prabhupada. You have to put faith in them also. And very important to have that strong faith. And the faith is not blind, because by putting your faith into this process, you tangibly experience the results. Bhakti pareshanu bhavo viraktir anyatra shaishatrika ekakalaha prapatyamanashriyatashnalashyus tushti pushti sudapayolmagasam. Devotion, direct experience of Krishna, and detachment from all material forms of all material sense gratification occurs simultaneously in the heart of one who is taking up seriously this path of Krishna Bhakti. Just as eradication of hunger, satisfaction of the tongue, and nourishment occur increasingly with each bite from one who is engaged in the process known as eating. You know what it's like to eat, don't you? You know what it's like to eat. You get satisfied, your hunger goes away, you get nourished. So in the same way as eating is a tangible experience, awakening your Krishna consciousness is also a tangible experience, just like eating. Three things happen. You'll start to feel some love for Krishna. Your heart will melt sometimes in the kirtan. Your heart will melt sometimes seeing the deities. Your heart will melt hearing about Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Your heart will melt when you see your spiritual master, or when you see a video of Srila Prabhupada, you see. So this means bhakti is actually awakening, and in this way, in that softening of the heart, actually you can begin to feel the presence of Krishna. Prabhupada told my god sister, she was wanting to know how to chant japa. Prabhupada's poignant advice, he said, when you chant japa, feel the presence of Krishna. So actually, Krishna is personally present. You are directly associating with Krishna. You may say, well, how's that possible? He's so far away in Goloka Vrindavan. But don't you know the name of Krishna is Krishna himself? Nama avatar. When you say Krishna, Krishna is present. When you say Krishna with faith, Krishna is just as present with you as he was with Arjuna on the chariot, or he was when he was under the Govardhan hill with all the Vrijabasis. Just when you say Krishna with faith, Krishna is personally with you. You're directly associating with him. You say, well, when will that day come when I associate with Krishna? You can do it right now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. result, dear Doctor, if you're actually, your heart is melting and you're feeling Krishna's presence, you think you'd be attracted to the material energy anymore? No. The attraction to the material energy goes away. This is how you can actually measure your advancement in Krishna consciousness, that you're no longer attracted by material sense gratification. It doesn't appeal to you anymore. Previously you may have been a lusty character trying to enjoy this material world, but now by awakening your Krishna consciousness, you're not attracted anymore, you see. You find it repulsive, actually, the idea of material sense gratification. You just want to spit at the thought of material sense gratification. This is a sign of advancing in Krishna consciousness. It's called Nava Nava Rasa. There are newer, when you take this path seriously, and you get newer and newer tastes at every minute. Nava Nava Rasa. This is described in a poetry by Jamundacharya Albandru of South India. He says, Yadavadi Mamacheta Krishna Vadaravinde Nava Nava Rasadamam Yuntarantu Masit Tadavadi Bhattanari Sangame Smayamane Bhavati Mukushtu Nishtivanamsha. Ever since I've engaged in the Shambhala loving service of Sri Radha and Krishna, deriving Nava Nava Rasa, newer and newer tastes in that activity of Krishna consciousness. Whenever the thought of sex life as I was previously engaged comes to my brain, my lips curl with this taste and I spit at the thought. So in this way, the devotee, as he awakens his Krishna consciousness, he's repulsed by the idea of material sense gratification. He finds it disgusting. He finds it abominable. Because he is tasting a pleasure which is beyond even the pleasure relished by the demigods on the heavenly planets. Krishna Bhakti is the ultimate pleasure. It's millions of times better than any pleasure of this material world. So just try to get that taste for Krishna Bhakti. And that taste, that ruchi, nama ruchi, that will carry you to the next stage of when you actually realize who you are in Krishna's pastimes. So just try to go through all the steps very properly, have faith, associate, get initiated, strictly follow your initiation vows, serve your spiritual master with love, serve the devotees with love, you see. In this way, the dirt will gradually go away, you get a taste for the name, and that taste for the name then will carry you to the perfection state. Hare Krishna mantra is like an airplane. Just like today we're flying on British Airways, Calm Air, from here to Johannesburg. But there's another airplane, another airport. The airport is in your heart. And the airplane is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Fly the friendly Hare Krishna skies. Every day, take off. For 16 miles mean taking off on an airplane ride to Goloka Vrindavan. So every day, and you may appear to be in this material world, if you are chanting Hare Krishna with faith and love, actually you're on a journey flying back to Krishna Loka every day by chanting it around very nicely. So, now I can ask if there's any questions. Should we associate that a selfish devotee is somehow helping us advance in Krishna consciousness? Well, if he's selfish, and how much is really helping? That's one question. The devotees who really will help you the most are the selfless devotees, and they're the advanced devotees. Neophyte devotees are sometimes selfish. They are called Kanishta Adhikaris. A selfish devotee is Kanishta Adhikari. He can fall down any time because he's still doing everything for his pleasure. So those devotees are not really that beneficial for helping. You should be helping them. You should be the selfless devotee who's helping a selfish devotee to advancing Krishna consciousness. That's what you should do. Selfish devotee means Majjhima Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. That is selfish devotee. Selfish devotee means Kanishta Adhikari. So you should become Majjhima Adhikari, a selfless devotee, and help this selfish devotee to advance. And now by helping this selfish devotee to advance, you will advance even more. In other words, the more you give Krishna, the more you get Krishna. So just try to give Krishna to others. And that giving Krishna to others will help you to advance very rapidly on the path back to home, back to the Loka. Okay. While chanting Hare Krishna, we must feel the presence of Krishna. How do we know that feeling is artificial or genuine? Well, when you feel it, you'll know. If you think, is this artificial? Then you're not there yet. You're not there yet. Right? Is this artificial? Yeah, then you're not there. But when you actually can feel the presence of Krishna, you'll know it. You want it to be told. You're getting blessed with the association of Krishna. You'll know it. I've read that the moment we want to enjoy separately from Krishna, it takes just a yoctosecond to fall, no, not even that long, to fall into the material world. There's absolutely no time. As soon as you have the desire to enjoy separately, you're already in the material world. There's not a gap in there. In other words, you can't be in Maya in the spiritual world. As soon as you embrace Maya, you're already here, Prabhu. You're already here. It's not that you can be in Maya in the spiritual world and they kick you out. No. There's only pure soul there. So as soon as you have the desire to enjoy separately, you're already here. There's not even a nanosecond delay. You're instantly here without any delay. Why can't there be a rehabilitation program in the spiritual world protecting how suffering is? In other words, in the spiritual world, they have some videos of what it's like in the material world to convince you not to leave the spiritual world. That's the idea. That's a special, like they give some morning classes. No, it's not necessary. Does it take lifetimes to reach the stage of Krishna prema? It could. It could take you millions of lifetimes. It's up to you. You can do it within a second, or you can do it in millions of lifetimes. It's up to you. How eager are you to revive your original loving relationship with Krishna? Or how eager are you to kind of take it easy and enjoy life in Mauritius for a while, and Mauritius, kind of enjoy life for a while here and take it easy? It's up to you. Do you have your only desire to please Krishna? You're willing to do whatever Krishna says? I'll sacrifice anything, I'll go anywhere, I'll do anything, I'll give up anything, I'll accept anything. Absolutely, Krishna, now I put myself fully under your direction. Whatever you want to do with me, pray that way. See, well, that's not really me. We'll pray that way, beg for it. It's not us, it's a fact. We want to enjoy the material world. That's our position. Let's be honest. We're still wanting to enjoy this material world. So how do you kick out that enjoying mood? You beg Krishna to give you pure bhakti. My dear Krishna, please give me pure devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let me have one desire only, and that is to do whatever you want, to have whatever thought in my brain you want me to have in my brain, whatever words you want to have me coming out of my mouth, whatever activities you want me to do. Let me, everything I do simply be for your pleasure and for my spiritual master's pleasure, and nothing else. You see, that, you pray and you beg for that, you will advance very quickly in this path. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can achieve Krishna prema if you take that mood very seriously. Is there any higher planetary system in the material world where Krishna consciousness or the process of devotional service is practiced? Yes. They have Krishna consciousness in the higher planets. But it's not completely pure. It's mixed. Because they have so much sense gratification in the higher planets. Actually, the demigods want to come here because this is the best planet to practice Krishna consciousness in the whole universe. If we are important eternal devotees, why are we called Nityabada? Actually, you are Nityasiddha and Nityabada both. You have both natures. Your Nityasiddha is your actual position. It is simply covered right now by Nityabada. Is ruchi manifest also in the taste of preach? Absolutely. And serve the mission? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to engage in Krishna Bhakti, but in fact I'm just doing it as a duty. That's okay in the beginning. I'm not tasting any sweetness. That's okay. Just keep doing it. Rupa Goswami gives this very poignant advice. He says, Shat Krishna Nama Charitadi Siddhatyava Rinja Pito Patata Rashanashana Rochikanu Kin Vandanananinam Kalijaya Vadushta Savikramat Bhavita Kulum Chattavulahandri. He says, the holy name, character, and pastimes of Krishna are all transcendently sweet, just like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one who is afflicted with the jaundice of avidya cannot take anything sweet, it is simply wonderful that by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So just keep chanting Prabhu, even though it's bitter poison right now. Keep on chanting, and that disease of material sense gratification will be destroyed at the root, and the full sweetness of the name will completely flood your heart in due course of time. And how do we know we are transiting from the neophyte to the madhyam stage? What are the symptoms? Your material desires are fading away.
Can you take some questions from the internet?
Oh, internet questions, okay. Which ones?
Gabriela?
They scroll down for me, I can't see them.
Gabriela.
Who was the first one?
Gabriela. How to be brave and encouraging enough, but persevering humility at the same time, while preaching.
Oh, Gabriele, okay. How to be brave and encouraging enough, but preserving humility at the same time while preaching to relatives. Well, the thing is, sometimes the relatives shouldn't even be preached to. You have to see if they're favorable or not. If they're just going to say negative things and commit offense, then it's better not to preach to the relatives. The whole world is out there. Relatives are relative. They're not absolute. Don't feel you have to preach to your relatives. Sometimes they're the worst people to preach to. Sometimes they're the best. It depends on them.
But isn't it our whole world, everybody is relative because Krishna is the...
Everyone's our relative, that's right. So your relative means everybody in the whole world is your relative, especially the human beings are your most important relatives. So you should be thinking about preaching to your relatives. You think about all the conditioned souls of this material world. Whoever is most willing to hear from you, the most inclined to hear from you, that's where you should put your energy. Not into those who get turned off and say negative things like my grandmother said, why don't you become a Christian minister? You see? So you need to put your preaching in the right place where people are going to go, wow, that's really cool. That's where you have to see. Don't cast your pearls before swine. I don't want to offend your relatives, but you put your preaching where it's going to have a good effect, not where people are going to be critical. So don't feel you have to preach to your relatives. The best thing, just like in your case, we're advising you to take some time out now and go to Kaunas and learn how to do book distribution. In your case, to have the devotees who are preaching, distributing books, who know how to approach the public on the street, go with them and learn how to do that. So this way you can really develop yourself as a preacher. You can't develop yourself as a preacher sitting in the house with your relatives. You're never going to develop as a preacher by doing that. You need to get out and face the general public. Especially going out with Prabhupada's books, facing the general public, that's how you become a powerful preacher. That's the key. Okay.
How to
develop unflinching faith in Guru and Krishna. Rupa Najari from Mayapur. We're getting a question coming from Mayapur today. Okay. How to develop unflinching faith. Okay. That unflinching faith is very important. Right now we have faith, but it's flinching. but how do you transform your flinching faith into unflinching faith? Hearing is actually the key. If you will hear from your spiritual master, from Senior Vaishnava, from Srila Prabhupada, if you will hear, reading, hearing, these activities will actually completely destroy all the doubts. Hearing is the key. Quality hearing is the key. You need to hear, because if you don't hear philosophy, you'll hear your mind, and your mind is full of so many rascal doubts. So you have to hear. Transcendental philosophy.
That's it.
How to develop a genuine desire to go and preach. Well, just do it. I don't care if you have a desire or not. Do it in the order of the spiritual master. Go out and preach. Approach people with Prabhupada's books. Do preaching programs in homes. Do something. Get out and preach. Just do it. Don't worry about having a taste for it or a desire to do it. Just do it on the order of the spiritual master, and believe me, you'll get an incredible taste. And you become addicted to it. Wow. This is the ultimate nectar. How my people are amazed how you can make 60 airplane flights a year, circling the globe twice a year at the age 67. I mean, how you can do it? Don't you get worn out? I say, no, I get energy. The more I do it, the more I get energy. The more I travel and preach, I get more and more energy. I become energized. So preaching is like that. The more you preach, the more you get energy. And then with that energy, you can preach even more potently. And when you preach even more potently, you get even more energy. In this way, it just goes on increasing. In this way, if we all our devotees can get this move, we can take over the whole world in 18 days. Let's do it. Everybody get in the preaching mood. Preach, distribute books, Harinam. Let's take over the world in 18 days, starting here in Mauritius. Get serious about preaching and experience the nectar. And material sense gratification, you just laugh at it. If Cupid comes a little pura barrel, you'll just laugh at it. Just laugh at it. What are you nonsense Cupid, what do you think you can do with those stupid little arrows? They're just going to bounce off me. I'm in preaching mood now. See what I'm saying? Okay. Okay, let's take another local one here, huh? A sadhaka usually gets stuck in the stage of anartha-nivritti. Now, if you get to anartha-nivritti, you're rolling. You're rolling along the line. You get to anartha. Now, bhajana kriya could be a place of getting stuck, where you're not doing it properly. You see that? But once you get to anartha-nivritti, you're rolling. It's just like, let's say you're going from point A to point B, and there's a big mountain range in the middle, you see. Here's the mountain. For those who are not seeing me or hearing, I'll describe it too. On one side of the mountain, there's sadhu sangha. There's shraddha, you're down in the valley, okay? And then there's sadhu sangha, you're going up the mountain a little bit. Bhajana kriya now. Bhajana kriya will take you all the way up to the peak. When you get to the peak, that's anartha-nivritti. And then it's just a downhill glide after that. Prabhupada says after anartha-nivritti, it's just a downhill glide. Once you get to anartha-nivritti, it's a downhill glide. Back to Ramaitikaya. That's when you're really rolling. Where we get hung up is, some people get hung up in sadhu sangha. They don't ever get initiated. They dissociate with ISKCON for years. They never get initiated. They're hung up in sadhu sangha states. Some people get initiated, but they don't really follow their guru's orders very well. They get hung up in bhajana kriya. They don't ever perfect bhajana kriya. They do three out of 4 principles. Maybe their rounds are not steady. They don't have good sadhana. They don't have good relationships with devotees. They get hung up in the bhajana kriya state. They never get out of bhajana kriya. But once you actually get out of bhajana kriya and get to anartha-nivritti, you're rolling. You're getting, those anarthas are flying away, and you're rolling down the road. You got your momentum going once you hit anartha-nivritti. So you should really, if you're not initiated, get initiated. If you are initiated, really take it seriously. Now every thought, every deed, every word has to be It has to be completely pleasing to my spiritual master. No more messing around with the material nature. I'm going to kick Maya out completely now from this moment. Maya, you're booted out, and you're not welcome back ever again. That's it. That's the way to do Bhajan Kriya. And now we'll take you to Nartanaviti. Quickly. During your presence, we are energized and inspired, but your absence makes us feel sad. Why this happens? That's natural. The thing is, there's two forms of association. There's Bani and Bapu. The Bani is the instructions, the teachings, the vibrational presence, and Bapu is the physical presence. Of the two, the Bani is more important. So, if you feel pain and anguish at the separation of Bapu, that's good. Use that to enter into Bani Sangha. Bani Sangha will never leave you, just like it was very painful for us when Prabhupada left the planet. But we realized that if we can stay dedicated to making this world Krishna conscious on the order of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada will always be residing in our hearts. Isn't it, Arjuna Prabhu? Prabhupada will always be residing with us. If we keep Prabhupada's mission as the goal of our life, we will always have Prabhupada sitting right there. We actually feel closer to Prabhupada even when he is here. You see, so you have to learn how to feel closer to your spiritual master or senior devotees in their absence by being dedicated to following their instructions. Lord Nityananda is more merciful than Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Why it is so? It's very simple, because Lord Chaitanya was going to kill Jagai Madai, and he said no to live with him. Is it right to say that advanced devotees in ISKCON are the stage of Krishna prema? They could be, they may not be. You can be an advanced devotee even before getting to prema. I would say that prema is very, very rarely. I wouldn't just say, yeah, all the devotees are prema. I wouldn't say such things. There may be some devotees of prema. It's a very, very rare stage of Shiva. Is it possible to maintain a good relationship with colleagues in the corporate world by following all the principles and the etiquette of a Vaishnava audience? It's simply a matter of your attitude. If you have what is your demeanor? Are you like a dog with your tail between your legs? Then you won't be able to do it. But if you have the mood of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you're absolutely convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all your energies and intelligence is fully absorbed in serving his mission. And you can be like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He had the highest respect of his colleagues in the British government. He had the highest respect. They gave him, of all the positions you could, as a servant of the British government in India at that time, the highest position you could occupy was magistrate. Bhaktivinoda was there, and he was the most highly regarded magistrate. If there was a problem in the village, like a Hindu-Muslim riot, the Britishers would send Bhaktivinoda Thakur. If there was a problem with the bogus incarnation, that Vishikena bogus incarnation, they would send Bhaktivinoda Thakur to quell the bogus incarnation. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the proof. He had the highest regard of his colleagues. So, there you go. Just remember Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You follow his footsteps. You make Krishna consciousness sound so simple. No, I don't make it sound. It is simple. I don't make it sound simple. That's nonsense. It is simple. Not that I make it sound simple by some word jugglery or something. It is simple. But we complicate it by our lusty, angry, greedy desires. We complicate it. That's the problem. It's like your engine runs very simply. We throw a monkey wrench in the gears. We're throwing a monkey wrench in the gears. We're making it complicated. You understand? It's our stupidity, our asinineness. We are making it complicated. So stop this nonsense. It's simple for the simple and difficult for the crooked. Stop being crooked.
Srila Prabhupada once said to Tribhuvannath, Krishna consciousness is so simple, you may miss it.
So simple you may miss it. Because we're so sophisticated. Right? Yes, I'm very sophisticated. come down off your high horse, Mr. Sophistication, and just accept the simple process of Krishna consciousness. Can we worship Krishna as a friend? Not yet. Don't jump. Don't jump ahead. There's enough monkeys jumping over the branches of Vrindavan. You follow the process of Bhagavan. You be the servant of the servant of the service of Krishna. And by that way, you become situated someday, and your rasa will be revealed to you as a friend, as a boyfriend, as a girlfriend, as a peacock feather, whatever you are in Krishna's path. Oh wow. Is this a whole list of questions? Yes? Yeah, it is. 6 questions all typed out nicely. Well, let's see what we can do. Some devotees seize the opportunity to write you their disguised questions anonymously, essentially to hurt indirectly other devotees. That's not nice. One question, especially listening to a big crowd and revise some unfortunate event again and again. They think that the person in particular is trying to. They use the questions as a way to get back at somebody by bringing some point. Well, let's rise above this kind of tit for tat mentality, and just let's try to love one another and just try to ask questions to purify our own heart. Sort of thing. I'm going to ask a question to teach this devotee a lesson over here. Now, just ask questions to purify your heart. I wish to precise that the person in question is marked, or he's going on to some specific issue with some person. The question is a Marg Pradarshaka Guru of mine. Marg Prashad Guru of mine. I wouldn't, huh? Yeah. I also wish to tell you, Grace, who was my Marg Prashaka Guru. He was my boss, a reckless alcohol consumer with all the related vices. Anyway, what's the point of all this? He attended Mangalati, initiated. My question is, this person encountered an ordinary person and criminal. There was some incident that took place. The thing is, even if somebody was a criminal, even if they were a murderer, a rapist, the most heinous, sinful person, if they take shelter of Krishna, they are considered saintly if they take up this process. Even if somebody becomes a devotee and falls down, if he again takes up the process, he's considered saintly. And let's say somebody really helped me to advance in Krishna consciousness, but they had a fall down. It happens. Some of our devotees in ISKCON, their gurus blooped. What are they supposed to think about their guru who blooped? Very painful thing. Well, you think, well, he helped me in so many ways. So now I should pray for his liberation, to help him. That person helped me in so many ways. He encouraged me, but something happened to him. He was carried away, and now I'm still here, but let me pray for that person. That person prayed for me. That person helped me. So let me pray for that person's benefit. In this way, there should be a feeling of love, not a feeling of vengeance. You see? This is the key. We have to have a feeling of love. If you have a feeling of anger, like you feel like choking some devotee to death or something like that, it's Krodavega, overtaking your mind. You have to conquer over Kroda. Don't let Kroda conquer you. The way you have to understand why this anger, this mood of vengeance comes. This Krodavega is described. It actually begins with lust. Pure love of Krishna in contact with the material nature is transformed into lust. And later that lust, when it's not fulfilled, it turns into wrath. So if you have wrath in your heart, you have anger, a mood of vengeance in your heart, it's not because of what somebody did to you, It's because you're your own lust. It's because of your own lusty consciousness. So you have to free yourself of that lusty tendency by developing love. And then anger won't touch you ever again. The mood of getting back with the devotee, vengeance, it'll all go away. You automatically forgive everyone. You're thinking, well, this devotee was offensive to me, but how offensive I have been to so many people in my millions of lifetimes of sojourn in this material world. Certainly if I can, devotees have forgiven me, they've welcomed me into their association, why I can't be welcomed to someone else? If I'm getting the mercy, I can share the mercy, you see. Not that I receive so much mercy, but I'm going to be cruel to you. That's not proper mood. If you're getting so much mercy, you should be giving mercy. Okay, let's see if we have any more. Looks like that's about it. Okay. On that note, here's one. If one's guru falls down, should accept another guru. Well, I hate this question, but it's true, it's painful. I mean, it's painful to answer this question. I find it very painful, but we have to be honest and say it has happened. Sometimes it happened with Shukracharya. He deviated from Dharma and his advice he gave to Bali Maharaj. So what did Bali Maharaj do when he was given a bogus instruction by his guru? It's interesting to note, by disobeying his guru, he became one of the 12 great Mahajans. But that's not a principle. I'm going to disobey my guru and become a Mahajan. No, it's not like that. If your guru deviates from Dharma, then it's your duty to deviate from your adharmic guru, okay? It's not your duty to follow a adharmic guru. It is your duty to follow a dharmic guru. Now, if a guru does fall down, you have a choice. You can, ISKCON does not require you to get reinitiated, but you can if you want. I have some disciples who are actually reinitiates of fallen gurus. I have some. And they're very happy getting reinitiated by me. And I actually have great respect and love for their spiritual master. He was a personal friend of mine, and we were brahmacharis together. So they feel very happy to have taken shelter and gotten initiated by me. And I have a great feeling of love for their spiritual master. I remember when he was a brilliant, effulgent gem of Chaitanya's mercy. He was just amazing. I remember how much I was inspired to him in his younger days. So, you can get reinitiated if you like, but it's not required. If you feel you'd just like to take shelter of Siksha gurus, senior devotees, of course, Prabhupada is our ultimate Siksha guru for all of us. Take shelter of Prabhupada's instruction and other senior devotees who inspire me, enliven me, even my priyas even juniors who may enliven me by their wonderful attitude, you see. If I feel strong enough, then it's not necessary to get reinitiated because I was connected with the Zivic session, and when my link broke out, then because I was also linked with Prabhupada, you see. That's not me, I'm just using in the case, let's say I was a grand disciple, and my guru blooped, okay. Do I not have a relationship with Prabhupada? If I'm a Prabhupada grand disciple, I am a disciple of Prabhupada disciple. I'm not only having a relationship with my guru as a disciple, I'm also a grand disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Now my guru bloops, that doesn't mean I'm no longer Prabhupada's grand disciple. You understand? I'm still a grand disciple of Prabhupada. It's like you're a kid, and you grow up and your father's killed in an automobile accident, you still have your grandfather. He's still there. You can still go see granddad. You still have your grandfather. So even if your father dies, you still have your grandfather. So it's not necessary to get reinitiated, but if one wants to get initiated again, one can do that. That's an option, it's up to you. Whatever. You can also take advice from senior devotees and ask them what they feel would be best for you as well. You can take advice if you're not sure what you should do. So I think I pretty well answered that question. Okay, we'll stop here now, and we thank you all very much And we have an announcement in just a minute coming up from our beloved temple president. But I just wanted to thank you all very much for coming today and for all the wonderful love that you've given us here while we've been here in Mauritius. We hope that we've been able to probably reciprocate your love by our dealings with you. We pray we've not offended you in any way by anything we said, thought, or did. And we look forward to coming back in December. And Krishna, Caitanya Prabhu wants to make a note.
Krishna Prabhu is Padaji, Dear Guru Maharaj. Well, just some clarification. I came to learn last time when Guru Maharaj was giving initiation. There was a few comments for the new initiates. Right? When the new initiates were asking for Guru Dakshina, they were advised by one or more devotees, right, that they should not do it in the temple room. So I tried to inquire, right, and they based their finding upon Nectar of Devotion, chapter 8.18, right, whereby one should not give charity to beggars. I don't know the exact word before the deity. Right. I also now I'm talking right in because under my higher authority, that is the GBC, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj. Right. So he told me this doesn't apply because beggars beg for themselves. Right. But for someone asking for alms, for Guru Dakshina, for his Guru Maharaj, for her Guru Maharaj, there is absolutely no problem. Right? There are also two other things which I'll discuss with Guru Maharaj afterwards. Please, right? It is clear, right? It is clear. It is not such a problem. Right? And this case Niyamagraha, following the rules and following the rules. So personally, right, in the name of the Yatra, I would like to beg for forgiveness with His Grace, Prabhu. The initiates, I don't know who told Panda Prabhu, Iravati Mataji, Hare Krishna, Krishna Katha Prabhu. There was one more initiate. She's not here. So I beg forgiveness to all of you. In my personal name and the name of the Yatra. Now, Prabhu, Arjuna, thanks.
On behalf of our Yatra, we'd like to thank you very much for keeping coming to Mauritius and sharing your very, very sweet nectar.
Delicious Mauritius. And we all are delicious Mauritius.
And on behalf of all the devotees, I humbly beg that you please come as often as you can.
And we already scheduled to come back in December. Lychee season. And we're planning for next year also this time. Yeah. We're going to come we're going to come a couple of days earlier next summer because the next winter so we can get here before Nirjala Ekadasi, instead of arriving on the day of Nirjala Ekadasi. We're going to come before Nirjala Ekadasi. Oh, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanandi.
His Grace Srimad Sankarshan Das Adhikari Maharaj ki
Jai.
Can I? Sure.